Alright, welcome back, F1 Manager, App Racing Nation. This is App Racing Legend. I am back. I took a week off. Apologize for not doing anything, but here is where I finished the last time I played. So if you guys think you're going to miss time, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you qualify and then don't play that next week. Because if you play just like a little bit, if you play just if you play like just a few races, you're not going to score enough and you're going to get booted down a league. So that's one of the reasons why I took the week off. I didn't move up, but I didn't move down. You can see I now have 402,000 coins. After 2 months of being in this this lockdown situation, I had a friend spend the week with me, so I was occupied. But here's where I am at. I don't think I need to do the free coins right now. Oops, not that. I'm going to come back and do this. I'm going to show you guys that I was using Grosjean and Stroll. And I got Stroll where I can upgrade him. And shoot, there was somebody else I wanted to use. Is it Norris? No. I think last time I was using Russell. And when Lance Stroll got to level 4, I made the switch. I think when he got to level, I think when Lance Stroll got to level 3 or 4, I made the switch. I think it was level 3. I made the switch, and Stroll is doing better than Grosjean right now. So the CC points, you guys that spent them all at the beginning, I think you're supposed to hold on to them until the end when you got like Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton generically. And you needed to, top them off to finish off their levels. I think that's what the CC points were for. Here's my car parts. I'm not sure if this guy's worth upgrading. 20, 50. So I could upgrade him twice. Once is going to give me just that. I'm thinking this might be the engine. I'm still not sure how good that next upgrade is going to be. Okay, solve 182. So these are the races that I was doing once I had Stroll and Grosjean. I just started doing these races. What I was doing was mostly like you start with, if it's raining or whatever, you start with those, and you're just going to get as many laps as you can out of your tires. Silverstone is a 7-lap race, so you kind of want to get, I think if you put wets on, you can stretch them to 4 laps if you just go slow the whole time. But Spa is 3 laps, and with those 2 drivers, I'm able to just stretch it to a 1-stop strategy. So far, everything I'm doing is with hard tires. I think soft tires are going to come into play once you start qualifying near the front, where you can actually pull away from guys and utilize the speed. But as long as you're in the pack, soft tires aren't really sorry about that. Soft tires aren't really the play. So here we are at Silverstone. See how you can get the 4 laps? So more than anything, we just want to make it those 4 laps so it's a 1-stop race. So if you played last season, the strategy is still kind of the same. You just don't make up as many positions on track. So you can see the difference in our tire situation. He is 5 seconds ahead. So I still have one more lap. The time is kind of weird. So now I have the fuel. We're all gonna have to pit again. So I might have been better off going 3-3-1. He's going to come out with slicks. He's going to be slow for a little bit. So you can see how strong Lance Stroll is compared to Albon and Raikkonen, and especially to Grosjean. This is the way it's been for the past few days I've played the game. The guy that I spent the coins on to get, Grosjean, he was good at first, but now he's getting far outpaced by Lance Stroll. So I don't know if you guys that spent your CC points are finding that to be true. That when you go out and buy a Series 5, Series 7 driver, that you're not seeing their assets. But I'm guessing most of you guys are probably just advancing ahead and not grinding the way that I am. But I don't think I played that one right. Okay, so let's see where Grosjean qualifies. My guess is he's going to qualify worse than Stroll, because that's just the way it kind of goes. Okay, so it's going to be a wet race. Even 3 laps. As you can see, he's going to have to pit. It looks like his tires are going to not make it to lap 3. See how Grosjean is keeping Stroll back? Stroll is now my faster driver. There's no way he would be able to keep anybody behind him. That's ludicrous. I needed the gap, but... Yeah, so this is more of like an endurance race than it is like a sprint race. You're trying to make your tires last as long as possible to cut down on the pit stops. Dude, he just drove around us. Did you see that? I should have zoomed in on that. See how Grosjean is keeping Stroll back? So your teammates will hold each other up. The NCP drivers, they just drive around you. You saw Lewis Hamilton; he just went around us in what, 2 turns. But if you have a driver that's ahead and his tires go bald, he's gonna block your driver. Other cars will go by him clean, but your driver will come up and stop behind them. So game mechanics are a little bit clunky still. So I have all 100 flags. I got to show you both races. Again, this is a beta release. If it was not in beta, all 3 of these tracks would be available. But the simple fact that Zandvoort is not available, as well as Vietnam, that's what lets me know that this was released in beta form. Because if that's part of the game and it wasn't in beta, that would be available. So, alright, so I am going to double check everything here. I can't upgrade my drivers. One. So everything will upgrade will just give me 1. Well, I'm not sure I need it. Okay, so flags are even. So I'm guessing this is going to be an 8-lap race. Hards. I don't know. I might be able to go too slow, too fast on hards. Yep. So it says I can go 3 to 5 on hards and then 2 to 3. So if I go 5 and 3, that's 8. But that would mean I have to go slow the whole way, and that's not going to get it done. I wonder what the NPC drivers' stats levels are. Are they their final stats? Or do they slowly go up as your stats develop? Yeah, the speed burst really, I don't know, it doesn't seem to really make that much of a difference. Mainly because your guys don't pass. See, I can't let Stroll go because he'll close that gap. So that's kind of more of what you're managing. I know a lot of you guys are saying I should like keep him on different pit strategies. I wish there was some way that you could train your crew better so that they stop making those mistakes in the pits. Like your car breaks down in a pit stop, so either someone's like clumsy and they're falling on your wing, or like they're messing up in the pit. And I'm okay with the time that the pits are taking. But is that reliability? Like, see, that's what I don't understand. It's kind of like reliability affects your pit crew somehow. Look at Lance Stroll struggling to make the pass. Doesn't know how to do it. Okay, so after I just bagged on Grosjean for 2 races, he comes out and gets the top 10. So maybe I don't quite know what I'm talking about, but on those wet tracks, it seemed like Lance Stroll was a better driver. He performed better. I still think that each one of these series should have a driver. Or each one of these, like the drivers from Britain should do good on certain tracks. Does that make sense? And like if the Spanish driver, I don't know, like I think each driver should have a region where he performs better. So like certain tracks or something that they actually perform, they like outperform to, I don't know, to add something to the game. Oops. To make you try to I don't know, to give you more stuff to figure out. Holy cow. So this isn't really a race, but, you know, again, you're just going to follow the strategy. I might have been able to go slow 3, fast 2, and then put soft tires on. So I know he's gonna have to pit again. I don't think it's gonna be a race, but he's not gonna finish as far ahead of me as he should. Ah! Three, 4, 5, but then, yeah. So let's see where we finish. I think I could have went earlier. This whole just watching your drivers follow them, it gets old. Like, there should be a button where you could speed it up just to get to the end. Because it's like, okay, cool. Well, my driver's going to follow for the last 2 laps. Why are you making me watch it? Okay, I got one more race to open up a crate. I think the play is to stretch to 5 and then go 2, 3. Père Voret. I think you go back to some of those earlier races and it would say 2 to 3 on hards, and you could go all out and like barely not make it to the end. So it might still be worth it, because having to go slow for 2 laps on those hards ain't cutting it. And I think that's why there's such a disparity in our qualifying. I botched that. Okay, so my drivers are right next to each other. I'm going to have to do two different strategies. So one's going to be 4-4, one's going to be 5-3. So I think Stroll is going to be 4-4. Grosjean's going to be 5-3 because Grosjean has better tire wear. See, even though he's racing, it's not really doing much. He only gained one position and not that much time. So if I'm right, the next time we come to this track, Grosjean should qualify a lot higher than Lance Stroll. And Grosjean's going to run out of tires like on that straight right there somewhere. Oh, never mind. He's not going to make it that far. That's the difference between the two strategies. So that 5-3 looks like the play. Because the 4-4 was way slower. I should get some good stuff in this because it's a Series 4 race crate. Nothing new. Okay, so we are back at Australia. I'm going to try the 5-3 again. Hopefully my guys will qualify better. Okay, so we're off. Gained 2 spots, lost 2 spots. So this is a one-stop strategy, just to keep you in touch. I'm gonna go 5 laps. See, it's taken less than 20% per lap. So we should be able to sprint lap 5, maybe a little bit more. Once again, by staying out, you make up positions. By going slow, you kind of keep everybody behind you. It limits your ability to win the race, but this is the fastest way you can get around the track. And that's pretty much what you're looking for, is your fastest overall time. So you're not going to really make up that much time. On track, because you're basically, all you're going to do is catch up to the guy in front, and then you're pretty much going to go their speed. But what it does do is, you saw where my guys qualified, and I think the next time I do this race, I'm pretty sure they're going to qualify better than they did this time. I think that's how they figure out your qualifying time. As you can see, I still have 2.5 laps of fuel. But I'm not worried about my fuel. I am worried about my tires. That's the challenge at the beginning. I'm hoping once you get your tire wear in a better position, you can start worrying about fuel. And again, the thing about this game is it's a representation of a Formula One race. So the fact that it's only 8 laps, that means they're condensing a race which normally has, like 50, 60 laps. They're condensing that down into 8 laps, to the point where 1 lap in the game represents like 8-9 laps in the real race. So when you see your driver follow for a full lap, that means your guy just drove around following that guy for 9 laps. Wasn't able to make a pass. So even though you were able to make a lot of passes in the last version of the game, nope, my qualifying time is back to being bad again. That means his cars are better. So at the end of this lap, his soft tires are going to be in 24th position. So right now he's starting to notice that he's up against it, which is going to make him desperate. See, his drivers are trying to go faster. So his Latifi's going to have to pit. You gotta make that move. You gotta make that move. You can't be staying behind that dude when his tires are that far off. Like, come on. See, that's 8 laps of him just doing that. Some of you guys asked me, how long should you grind for? You should grind until you have enough to enter 3 races. So before I would jump up and try one of these races, I would wait until I have at least 600. Because again, the first time you do a racetrack, your qualifying is going to be terrible. You're going to like be 23 and 24. So it's going to take you some races in order to set a qualifying time. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about strategies. So what you're trying to do is figure out like where your marks are. First time you come to a track, you saw last time my tires ran bald. So it means I just gotta go slow to a certain point before I release them. I think when the drivers warn you about needing to pit, I think that's when they're telling you you have like a lap to go. Come on, what's going on? You can see where my guys went out. What's that? 1, 2, 3 turns before the end, so I have to hold off till I am 1, 2, 3, 4, probably until I'm at the 5th turn. Well, anyway. My he must be like doing some pretty good races. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna end this video because I gotta it lagging like that. But yeah, so if you're new, this is, I don't know, I guess the equivalent of day 10 or so of playing the game. Again, the drivers that you're going to use are Latifi and Giovinazzi until they're about level 3, level 4. Latifi is going to be a better driver for you, just because of his tire management. When they first dropped this version of the game, the passing was ridiculous. Like, you just could not make a pass. Even if like a car lapped you and finished the race, you still couldn't pass. You couldn't unlap yourself even then, when he wasn't even racing anymore. Eventually you get Ocon, and I used Ocon for a little bit, but honestly Ocon and Giovinazzi are kind of the same driver. I don't think you're ever going to use Carlos Sainz unless you pay for him. I don't know how good he can possibly get, considering he started off so bad. George Russell turns out to be a pretty good driver because of his tire management, as well as his consistency. Ricardo, probably not going to use him. Gasly, some of you guys are saying you used him. I did not. Tire management, again. Kvyat, did not use him. Tire management. You know, some of these guys might be good, but you don't have the money to upgrade them to C. I think that's where a lot of people get in trouble, is they're like, oh, I like this driver, and you upgrade him, and you find out he's not worth it, so you just spend all of that progress, and now you're behind because you spent it on something that you're not going to use. So, Lance Stroll, I started using him at level 3, and before I got to Lance Stroll level 3, I saved up 80 of the bucks. I came down to new assets and I purchased Romain Grosjean. And that's the reason why I have Romain Grosjean. So I haven't spent any money on this account. Again, you go back and look at my videos, I was not enjoying it. They've finally fixed it to where at least it's competitive and your drivers can make some passes during the race. But again, it's like, is Nicholas Latifi's stats what it was at the beginning? Or were his stats what they are when he's finished? I hope that makes sense. That's the question I don't understand. Not this Latifi. I'm talking about the one that I race against. Because there's a reason why these drivers are bad. It's because the car is bad. Nicholas Latifi was, well, I don't really know anything about him, but George Russell was winning races in Formula 2. And then he moved up, and he was bad because his car was, what, like 3 seconds slower per lap or something ridiculous? Like they didn't stand a chance. So I don't know what his stats are, if it's, you know, what it was at the beginning or if it's at the end. And then the same thing goes with the cars. It's like, what's the deal with Williams cars? Because I feel by this point, with all of this on my car, I should be able to out-qualify Williams every time by now. So I don't understand the criteria there. If any of you guys have any ideas, let me know. But yeah, that's kind of the stuff that I think about when I'm racing. Again, the actual race is, I don't know, I'm not gonna lie, they're kind of boring now. that, you know, there's really nothing going on. You kind of just watch them go around in a circle and follow. If you zoom in, you see them just driving really strange. But while the car, that's why I'm so quiet, because I'm thinking about, like, what's the criteria? Like, what am I trying to make the car better? Am I trying to make the drivers better? Because I feel like my car should be better than Williams and Haas, based on how they were at the end of last season. And I'm guessing that's what they're basing all of the driver stats on, and everything is where they were last season. Except Raikkonen's higher than where he was. And Carlos Sainz is way down from where he was. Yeah, so I'm not really sure what, you know, how they deal this. I'm pretty sure that the reason why Romain Grosjean is good is because he's not a popular driver. Not a lot of guys like him because he crashes a lot. So they figure no one's going to use him, and they're going to want to go out and pay for Verstappen and Albon and all those other guys, which is basically what happens. And then you find out that they're not that good. And in order to get them good, you got to upgrade them. But when you go to upgrade them, their assets are super expensive. So it's $400 for Vettel, and then once I upgrade them, I don't know what it's going to cost per asset. But like if I buy the Engager, that 116 is going to go to 117. That's what that means. And when I buy a big bite, that 23 is going to go to 24 for $5. And then the next one's going to cost $6. So if you're like, oh, I'm only 5 away, and you just go bap, 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 and you're looking like, where'd all my bucks go? That's why. So it goes 1 to 2, which is 3, to 3, which is 6, to 4, which is 10, to 5, which is 15 for 5 clicks. So that's where they kind of get you. These help, but they're expensive. So you can see it says I own 2. When you use them, it takes, so when you start, it's going to use 1. And if you pit, it's going to take another 1. And if you pit again, if you go 2 stops, it's going to take another 1. So it's 3 boosts for a 2-stop race. It's 2 boosts for a 1-stop race. So just know that these get kind of expensive. And honestly, I don't think it's worth it to rely on them. Because whatever the problems are, you can kind of figure that out once you start winning. You'll actually be able to purchase all of these parts and upgrade everything, and then you'll be able to see which one's better. So that's where I'm going to be eventually. I started a new series. I probably need to upgrade this stuff to make my car just a little bit faster, to be a little bit more competitive. And I'm probably going to research all this stuff off camera to see which ones I should do. But, yeah, that's the video. Sorry for the gap in content, but, if you've been watching my videos, you know that's kind of how I go. I turned the music up to cover up some of the background noises that you guys complain about. I covered up my microphone with a towel to hopefully muffle the echoes and stuff. Again, I do my videos on an Amazon Fire or a Samsung Galaxy Note 5. So my microphones and all that are not up to stuff. I don't have like a booth. Right now I'm making this video sitting on the side of my bed on the table behind my TV where I play my video games. In my little nook. So I'm sorry if everything's not professional, guys, but I'm here to show you guys how to win without spending money. And again, you can see how far I've progressed in the game without spending anything on it. So I hope you guys don't get too upset. About the sound quality. That's going to be a nice upgrade. Okay, so I added a little bit to the car. I need this upgrade right here. I need that grip. Yeah, so anyway, there's my drivers. These are still my best two drivers, or my two best. Best two. Yeah, either way. And I'm about 50-50 on the common and the rare parts. And I'm going to do some races offline, and by the next time you see me I should have some spending money, hopefully. And yeah, that's the end of this video. So yeah, if you liked it, comment, like, subscribe. But here's where we are. So if you're going through the game and you're wondering what the setup is and where you should be at, you can see my success level, and you can see the drivers that I'm using. And this is pretty much step by step. The only thing that you haven't seen me do is just grind out the these races, because I mean, you'll go where you win 2 out of 3 and then you lose 3 out of 4, and then you'll win, and then you'll have to go back down and do some of these races. And honestly, like, I spent a long time on these 4,000 races, and I just was grinding the race crates. I was grinding these things right here, and that was giving me all of these that you see that I can't open because I don't have the funds yet. But by sitting and grinding that level 4, it'll get you ahead to the point where as soon as you start to have coins, you can start looking and comparing to see like what the benefit is of moving up.
And eventually, doing it this way, you're going to get to a point where your card's just not competitive, but you're going to have the money. And at that point, you're going to go back and be like, oh, I have like 1,000,000 coins, and this only costs 16,000 to upgrade. Maybe I should do that now. And by then, you'll be able to upgrade it 2-3 times, and you'll be like, oh, wow, it's worth it. So just be patient. The beginning of the game is a little bit of a grind, especially when you come up against guys using their 2019 teams and they, start the race so far ahead of you. I know it gets frustrating and annoying. It's kind of like they're farming you out to older, established players. But just stick with it. Eventually, the flags go up. Your technology on your car goes up. Your driver skills start to go up. And you slowly start to be a little bit more competitive. And especially, like I said, when you do these races down over here, and you get to the point where you start winning consistently, it kind of gets fun. But yeah, you'll slowly notice your guys start qualifying a little bit better as their tire wear and all that stuff goes up. So don't be in a rush. I don't know, some of you guys I'm sure are rushing ahead, but this is the way I do it to keep it a little bit less frustrating. So anyway, that's the end of this video. Hope you guys have a nice day, and I will download some new content soon. Alright, peace.